Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta. I'm a healer, and this is a video for the new moon in Scorpio on November 13th or 12th, depending on where you are in the world. So, we are going to be looking at the energy in general of this new moon. We are going to be looking at main themes that Spirit wants us to consider. We're going to get some advice for you, and then I will wrap it up at the end. So, without further ado, let's get to it. To talk about this energy, I have here the Sacred Geometry Oracle by Lon. And so I'm going to draw some cards and we're going to talk about the energy. And in the energy, Spirit has given me two main dynamics going on, which are absolutely fascinating. Number one is facilitation and number two is rehabilitation. And it's so interesting because facilitation to me, I'm a native French speaker. That's my mother tongue. And so when I heard facilitation, I got this image of things being made easy, facile, easy. So literally facilitation, making things easy. There is a dynamic in this energy in the new moon that is taking us because first of all, this Scorpio new moon, I've been feeling it for a while and it's been so heavy on the dark side of the moon. So before we go into the new moon fully, when the light is dwindling into this new moon, there is a lot of heaviness. We are in 8th house energy on top of that. We have Scorpio to help us navigate this space, but we're in the 8th house. And so that is a lot of deep, shadowy spaces, a lot of undercover, underground work. It's also a lot of attending to our wounding and a call for healing that is resounding. And generally, when we go through life, we don't always take the time to answer that call for wounding. We don't always attend to our wounding. And so in the 8th house, it gets really loud. And so there's been a lot of that and a lot of heaviness. I've really felt for days like I'm walking underground and how heavy the energy is. So there's a lot of that. And so when we come into the other side of it, that sense of facilitation and things getting easier is also because of just how challenging the energy has been. And Spirit is saying the energy is going to be challenging from now on. So it's kind of par for the course at this point. And this new moon is really helping us to get our bearings and learn how to make it easy for ourselves to move through these kinds of dynamics for years to come. But also with rehabilitation, we are getting back certain parts of ourselves that we shed in the process. In the process of moving through the process, we had to shed certain parts of ourselves and we're going to get those back. So this is really interesting. I have 4 cards and we're going to start with facilitation, these 2 cards, and then the next 2 cards will be for rehabilitation. So we have got facilitation. We have consciousness. Well, now. And it says the frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. That's wild. That's wild. Okay, we'll get to that. And then we've got universal love. With the frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. Nothing less, right? So let's go back to consciousness. You see how I was trying to get the word and I was actually kind of amazed, like, wow, I can read this pretty good. And then I stall on one word and it's focus. And what am I trying to get the camera to do? Focus. There's a deep interconnectedness, like almost Spirit saying like a bleeding through this as within so without between ourselves and our reality. And you may be experiencing this. I'm actually experiencing this a lot where I will be thinking something, oh, I don't know if I should do that. And then maybe there's something, I'm watching something, and then at that moment they'll do, you should absolutely do that. And I'm like, wait, what? And okay, it happening enough, right, that it's significant and I can notice it. And it's those kinds of little elements that are not necessarily significant in and of themselves. I'm not going to take that word to make a huge life decision. But it's talking about, it's showing us something. Spirit is saying it's something that we need to be conscious of more and more, which is a stronger interplay between us and our realities. We're getting a lot more interconnected. We're getting a lot more relevant to one another. So to the things going on in my reality, I can show up in a way where I'm more relevant to those things. I can serve them more, but also they're more relevant to me and they can serve me more. And that kind of connection, it's an intimacy. There's a deeper intimacy between us and our reality that we can become conscious of. And that's because a lot of energy shifts have happened. And the world that you were born in and the world that you're living in today is not the same world, energetically speaking. And what you can move, how you can move your energy from within you and your system and out into the world to create and manifest and engender and elicit and discover, explore, all of those things are very, very different. And today from yesterday, right? So this is new moon a day, but then there was 11 gate and so on and so forth. And we had that full moon, right? So a lot of big energy shifts have been happening, and it's just not the same space. And it's about becoming conscious of that. Because why? Universal love. You're connected to everyone and everything on the planet. Yay. But more than that, that's an awesome thing. But it's also a way to live. And more importantly, Spirit is saying it's a way to work energy. There's a way in which what you're watching completely randomly can be utilized by the universal force of love to serve you in the most random ways, in what you're thinking and what you're wondering about and what you're afraid of. This is talking about a massive activation coming through in your reality where people, places, and things are going to be increasingly utilized. That's the word, utilized. They're going to be facilitators of universal love energy to come to you. And part of that energy is healing. It is about rehabilitation. It is about fixing certain things. But it's just in general about interconnectedness and how life really is, how the universe really functions, and stepping up so much more clearly into that. We have master number 44, system. It's a system. It's the system of life. It's getting tapped in so much more clearly into the system of life. The energy is facilitating that, making it easier for us to experience, making it easier for us to connect, to experience that connection, and also to work it consciously. Because actually, it can be hard to connect. There's all these things, these thoughts, it can be harder to experience it because we can't always hold that love energy and that feeling of connection and what it means and how we can navigate it. We're not always able to do that. And then thirdly, we're not always able to consciously use and work this connection to create and manifest the best possible realities. And all of that is going to become easier with this new moon energy. Beautiful. The potential is there, right? Consciousness, we got to work it for sure. So second aspect is rehabilitation. We have synergy. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations can give birth to a new reality. Okay, I feel like that's what we've been talking about. Synergy and alchemy, spirit. Beautiful. Alchemy. The frequency of alchemy supports our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us really holds the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. So what's up with that? This one is very unclear. I feel like it's speaking to this. Yeah. This new moon is going to have a wonderful effect. Again, the energy is there, right? So there's synergy, and synergy is speaking to things in your life that you want to have, that you want to create, you want to experience, but you don't really know how. How could that happen? How could that come to pass? How could that be possible? How could that be beneficial? How could that be true? And so on and so forth, right? All of these thoughts and all of these issues, there we go, all of these dynamics going on in your head. Now, you're intended to have that. That's why you're wanting it. That's why you're thinking about it. That's why you care. Alchemy is talking about you, and with it being so foggy before, it was talking about you not having an awareness that you can co-create it, that you have the alchemical tools and disposition to make it happen because you are a co-creative being, right? It's in your DNA. And we even have 3 levels here. It's like spirit, soul, human. Everything is intended to work together to create synergies. And even in this life, there's with rehabilitation, I'm being drawn to this energy going into situations in your life that you have thought were broken, they were beyond repair, they were ailing, they were kind of dragging themselves along, really not blossoming, not thriving, not really working. Well, that's because their success, their wholeness, their healing requires synergy. It requires arriving at an outcome that you've never seen before, and never could have imagined, never could have thought that you could create. And to get to that wild outcome, that wild card outcome, you need alchemy. You need your own gifts, your own skills, your own ability, your own power that you're consciously working to co-create it and to make it happen. And so with these cards and everything, what Spirit really is talking about in this energy is their rehabilitation. And again, we're in the eighth house where there's been that wounding. And the eighth house also deals with power and our relationships with other people, and really relationships and influences between ourselves and anything that we can relate to. And we relate to everything. We relate to thoughts, clouds in the sky, things that we see, right? All of that influence it's about dealing with that, cleansing that out, and coming into space where you're reclaiming alchemical power to create the life that you want to lead, empowering yourself to create life as you want to lead it. So a main energy that is delivering beautiful energy. First and foremost, the universe wants to work with you and for you, and can now work for you and with you in a completely different way, and you empowering yourself to make use of that. And as always, there's the convergence. These are the times we're living in. Something's going on in the universe, something's going on in the ethers, and then something's going on inside of me. And the two meet together to co-create something even greater than they could individually. If you don't show up, the universe, whatever the universe creates for you, won't be as grand. And similarly, if the universe doesn't co-create something amazing, however much you do, there will be some limitation. But now we're coming into a space where these have not been able to meet up and work together in certain areas and aspects and dynamics in life. The energy is now set for them to start moving together, working together, and providing a lot of a really nice breeze. Actually, it's a little warm in here. Exactly what you need. Exactly what you need. So love, that was the energy part, and now let's look at the main themes. The advice is simple. I like it when that's the case. It makes my job easier. Try, judge, shape. Get a card for each, and we'll see where Spirit wants to take this. So we are talking about how to work these dynamics and how to work this energy to get the most out of it. That's always what it is. We always work the energy. We always move through it, right? We're alive the day of the new moon. We'll be alive the day of the full moon. Most of us, logically speaking, right? But how we move through it, what we make of it, the consciousness we bring to it, that's the challenge. That's the gift. That's the opportunity. That's the potential. So try. We've got Divine Masculine, Master number 22 showing up. Okay. Judge, Earth. And then finally, we've got Shape. Healing. Love it. Okay. 2 plus 9 adds up to an 11. So we do have Master number 11 showing up there also. Try. We have advice. I am not going to read the text. We're just going to go off the energy of the card. So Divine Masculine Energy. Divine Masculine Energy is talking about empowerment and seizing power. And Spirit is saying, okay, read the text. Okay, the frequency of Divine Masculine supports our strong, focused, and active side, allowing it to express itself while helping us to bring our dreams and ideas into form with kindness and wisdom. So again, that notion of activity. Do not be passive. Try. We're in an energy that is completely different and that is intended to work in a different way. So with Divine Masculine Energy in Master number 22 of the Master Builder, Master Manifestor, you are being guided to try to direct yourself towards new intentions and new ways in an active way, in an active manner. So to wherever you feel like you're drifting, wherever you feel like you're powerless, wherever you feel like you've lost control, try to aim yourself towards something, and don't aim to achieve, aim to try. Aim to go for it. Aim to just put your foot forward. It's really like I'm being shown, like, when you throw a pebble on the water and it skips, you just throw the pebble and it skips the first time, but you don't know if it will skip the second or the third, and so on and so forth. And that's all you need to do. Just take that first step, put your energy into it, because spirit is going to show up, the universe is going to show up. You're in co-creative mode now. These are co-creative times. So really, with divine masculine energy, this is about releasing control of time and outcome and shape, what it's going to look like, how things are going to happen, when, where, how. Releasing control and just focus on trying, focus on aiming. I would like to achieve this. Okay, well, let's see. What would the first step be? Okay, let me try that. And then you try, and then you see what happens, and then you try again. It's like a complete shift. Yeah, consciousness, going into a different consciousness that isn't so much about achieving things anymore, but it is a lot less hands-on, and it's much more loose and flexible. That is about trying, because we're never going to achieve the full outcome straight away, because we're going to need spirit's input. We're going to need that co-creative return to come in, and then the synergy can happen, and then something else can come in, and then we'll go from there. But it's never going to be a matter from now on in these energies and in these times. The way is not, let me do this completely on my own, I control it, I decide everything. That's the past. So first bit of advice, shift into a try mentality. Now, second bit of advice with judge, we have earth. And earth says the frequency of earth activates our deep connection to the physical plane by showing us the beauty of all the aspects of our great mother and revealing the more ethereal spiritual aspects of our nature. Oh, I love that. This is so interesting. You're on a world, part of a species that has a lot of issues. And this card is really showing up to talk about that, talk about earth changes and the dynamics that are happening in a larger global sense. Judge, be a good judge of the extent to which you are feeding dynamics of healing, dynamics of resolution, dynamics of evolution, or you're feeding dynamics of harm, dynamics of devolution, dynamics of destruction, destructivity, right? It's very important in these times that you put your energy towards making things better, making your own life better, making this relationship better, making this situation better, right? To be constructive and productive also in that sense. But yeah, constructive, very Aquarian energy, bringing your bit to make things better, because you're going to be feeding off the momentum. So that's one aspect of it. From a completely like self-interested aspect, if you seek resolution and situation improvement, then you're going to align with the energy of Gaia, the energy of the universe that's already doing the same thing, even the energy of our species, humanity, that is evolving, right? So you get into that energy, the momentum, and it can carry you along and boost whatever you're creating. On another aspect, it's also that you're not going to be moving against a dynamic, right? So the dynamic is like, we're moving towards more sustainable production and productivity and more ethical production. And you're like, yes, I'm going to start this product. Let me find the worst sweatshop that I can find, the most polluting things that I can find, because it's the cheapest. Let me do that. It's not going to work well. And in a grander scheme of things, it's especially not going to work well for you, because you're not intended to function in this way. So it's very important to judge. And judge is coming through to say, not discern, not learn. There are rules, or there are recommendations. For example, climate change. How do you deal with climate change? This is what you do. This is apply. There are suggestions, recommendations, and so on. But there are things that we scientifically know. If we do this, it will cut down this much emissions, and so on and so forth. They're not super, precise down to the milli, comma, and so on and so forth. But we can ascertain those things. Judge is talking about subjectively, and to some extent, do I buy this product that is woman owned, or do I buy this product that is good for the environment? you judge. You decide. It's part of your leadership also, right? So that's one very specific element, but at the same time, it's for you to judge if when you do something, is my peace more important than my happiness right now, right? One will give me greater peace, one will give me greater happiness. What do I do? How do I direct myself? Judge. And judge is also talking about having the courage to step into those space. And so what is harmful at a greater level, but ultimately having the courage to make that distinction, that decision, to judge for yourself, to make that judgment, because no one else can for you, right? And that's what's going to align it. Whatever you have judged to be the correct thing to do, the wholesome thing to do, the healing thing to do, whatever you have chosen to do from a space where you are aligned and you're clear, then that's it. That's that. And that's what's really going to feed into the dynamics, because fundamentally that's what more people need to do, right? It's not so much about the specific choice. Choose this, choose that. On some level, yeah, it is, absolutely. But what we're trying to bring in, what we're trying to bring through is the space from which the choice is made. It's about the consciousness. It's about the consciousness. So if you're making judgments from a space that of consciousness, of being connected to the whole, of seeking healing, of seeking resolution, seeking progress, of following love, you're good. There you go. So a bit of advice number 3, shape. And we have healing. So the frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. My love, healing, healing. Make it work for you. Make it work for you. Do not do anything that doesn't work for you. What did it say? It said, our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness. Listen, listen, listen. I'm so getting carried away. It's a very definitive energy. This is not half this, half that. This is very, very clear message the spirit has for you. It is not healing to the whole. It is not beneficial to the whole. It's not healing to anyone. It is not beneficial to anyone if it doesn't work for you. It has to heal you to heal the whole. And so many of us, we're carrying stuff, we have issues. And again, we're talking also about the greater level on the planet. Most people on this planet will not live in complete karmic balance with the sun and the moon and the air and the water and so on, with the way we're working resources. It's just not going to happen. And with the way everything is intricate, right? Cameras have animal parts in them. I'm vegan. It's there's just so much interconnectedness, so many influences. But if I say I'm vegan, so I'm not going to have the camera, but it's my life purpose, or rather it is my function to be making these videos and sharing them, right? If I don't pursue that function, it's not good for me. It's not good for the greater whole. So the act of not buying the camera isn't actually healing. It has to work for you. And we're back kind of to the notion of the judge, and that's what shape. You have to give it shape. You have to shape and mold it according to who you are and what works for you. And that's the fundamental judge. We have a energy work here on the channel called Heal Your Selfhood or something like that. Highly recommended. It also had to do with the inner critic and being our own greatest advocate. So if that speaks to you, check it out here on the channel. It's here for free. So that kind of work is about the selfhood, and the selfhood is the center, here at the center. You have to stand in the center. You have to stand courageously and in who you are, in your individuality, in your truth, and you have to serve that. And that's the starting point. If you're serving yourself, then you can start to serve others. But if you give something to someone else and it doesn't serve you, you didn't really serve them either. It has to work for you. So you work with you. You start here, heal the self. Then you heal with others, and then you can heal the world, right? But all of those spaces and those places have to be there. Similarly, don't start a project. I'm going to heal the world, and we're going to create this amazing product that's going to heal the world, but everybody working on it is working in a sweatshop under terrible conditions. Heal the self, heal the world, but the heal with other part isn't there. That doesn't work either. So it's about doing things in the correct way again, yeah, the way, the correct way, the correct approach for it to really be healing. But it starts with you. And again, you're the judge, you're the center, you're that core. It has to work for you, it has to be good for you, it has to serve you, it has to love you. I'm seeing like almost like bow down. It has to worship the divinity of you and revere the divinity of you and align with it and serve it. And then it's going to be able to do something else, anything else for anyone else. But if it doesn't do the most fundamental and important things for you, it won't do anything else for anyone else in the long run. Not in the ways that we're intending to, not in those deep, profound, transformative, revolutionary ways that we are trying to bring in this era. It's not about band-aids. It's not about doing the same thing that we've always done. We're shifting this, we're transforming this, we're taking it to another level. And that takes a different approach. And it does start with you and me. It's how we do it and how we build up and share and then all do it together, right? In our own time, in our own way, absolutely. But that's the direction. That would be the goal if there was one, right? So that was the advice. So let's wrap this up. I'm back with the deck. Let's wrap it up. It's just the last one. Spirit is like, just cut the deck. It's one card. Realization. It is coming true. It is coming true. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. Well, there you go again. I was gonna shuffle. I was gonna do what I usually do, right? Cut the deck. Facilitation and rehabilitation. There's a lot of things that are going to start coming true, that are going to be realizing themselves. And in some part of you didn't really believe that they would, but here they are. It's going to manifest. It's going to happen. And in the greater scheme of things, Spirit is saying this process exists. It happens. There's people on this earth that don't even believe that the world is getting better, that the world is evolving, right? But they're still benefiting from it because they're still a part of it. And so are you. And so you don't have to carry this. You don't have to make it all happen single-handedly, right? You don't have to be the savior. No one needs saving. Nothing needs saving. It's all about realizing what's really at stake here and what really works and what's really going to work for you. And it's going to start in your selfhood. It's going to start with what you're doing for yourself, and then it will have an impact out in the world in ways that you cannot even imagine. It's going to realize, it's going to come true, but it starts in that center. And then turquoise is the color of divine creativity, actually. So Spirit is going to take it. Spirit is going to run with it. Amazing things are going to happen, right? That internal process of becoming is going to lead to an external process of becoming and feed into that in amazing, amazing, amazing ways. Absolutely. It is so. It is happening. It's going to happen. It's been happening. It's just a matter of you get yourself where you need to be. Hold on to that, live in that, embody that, and then you'll just watch all the rest unfold. So my love, those were the messages that I had for you today, that Spirit had for you today through me. We are done with the current co-creation. I'm sending you so much love, wishing you all the best. Happy new moon. I wish you wonderful days ahead in the next 28 days until we meet again to talk about the next new moon, actually 29.5. Lots of love. All the best. May you be blessed always and in always. And I'll be seeing you around. Bye.